We're living in some weird times in gaming, right? The minute I start, the vent pops on. But we're doing this. And we're living in the times where people will literally would rather uninstall a game, shit and dislike a game, and shit on Sony, and just do everything in their power to voice their grievances about a game than make a PSN account. And look, a PSN account only takes what? A couple minutes to make. But what we see with Helldivers is people telling Sony to go fuck themselves. Look, the PSN, the PlayStation Network, has never been the most secure thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the hackers are dropping a new album on all the leaks they're going to do on the damn PlayStation Network. Because it's never really been safe, and PlayStation has always been anti consumer. But what we see with the situation with Helldivers is gamers actually winning. The consumer is lashing out against the company and telling them to go fuck themselves, and the consumer won in this instance, right? I'd say another instance was with the Stellar Blade, because you had grooms starting a petition to add an outfit that they censored back into the game. Because again, the consumer wants what the fuck they paid for, and they don't want to be sold one thing, then have something else forced down their throat by the company who, again, should be beholden to the consumer, right? We put food on their fucking table, but for some reason they want to spit on the hand that gives them food. And again, you have a situation like it with Helldivers where people were forced, they effectively made you create a PSN account, PlayStation Network account, and, people said, go fuck yourself. And the situation with Stellar Blade, where they're like, do not censor this shit, or we will. Well, I mean, I haven't read the whole thing of the petition, but they've added the shit back. And, this is rare situation. I mean, we shouldn't be in this situation, but unfortunately we are, right? We are forced in the situation to have to shit on a company, and that company being the PlayStation Network and PlayStation in particular, because they just want to push the envelope. They want to see what they can get away with when screwing with the customer. And other companies do this, right? But it is so blatant with entertainment companies. Like, they want your money. Like, they covet your money, despite, and they'll make the product even more expensive. But it's like, okay, they refuse to give you your money's worth, and we could talk all about how this games from multi-billion-dollar companies are incapable of actually being good. And again, these are the same companies that, used to make good products. I mean, used to make products that sold worldwide. It's like, you want inclusion, like, you have games that sold in fucking Africa and Europe and Asia, and people knew these games and played these games, right? That's true inclusion. What we have is this corporate ideological inclusion that's effectively, it's almost like a religion, right? It's this corporate ideology that gets imposed, and at the end of the day, it's people using ideology to uplift themselves, because you are a company and you want to make money, and so the idea is you put out a damn product that you want me to buy. But, and that's the initial idea, but now companies act like they're like fiefdoms. They act like they're their own little castle in their own little land within a country, and the people in there have to adhere to the almighty kingdom of fucking Ubisoft and the almighty kingdom of Sony, and they have to impose their values on everybody else. And what you get from this idea is the products that just don't sell. But somehow they manage to dump even more money into the next product that sells even less. And then they are going to make a whole nother product. And again, these products, these games, they take years to make, right? And they're yet another remake, yet another remaster, yet another prequel, yet another sequel. Like, nothing new is coming out, and if it is, right, it's just, it comes from either overseas or it's just, I don't know, some indie game that barely gets any publicity, or I guess it's probably like a gotcha game, which surprisingly gives people what they want. Like, we live in an age where gotcha and mobile games actually give the consumer their money's worth, and just mainstream multi-billion-dollar games or million-dollar games from multi-billion-dollar companies just are incapable of doing that. And you seem to wonder, like, what is this product for, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a video game, so it should be for people who play games, right? But then the company gives the gamers sass, be like, oh well, if you don't like this game or you don't like this product, you're an insert emotionally charged label here. Listen, hold on, Lucy, I got you. Oh, get over. And that's just how marketing's done. And again, they spend time, money, and effort for it to get to this point. This isn't something that just comes out the ether. Like, they spend millions of dollars to effectively tell you that you are not the customer anymore. We do not hold any value in you purchasing the product, right? We hold value in shareholders. We hold value in journalists. We hold value in people who do not consume the product, but because we say the things they want to hear, they are forced to defend it. And it makes you wonder, right, why there's companies and why there's products that don't spring out in opposition to these. And it's because of things like the PlayStation Network, right? They want to have a chokehold on, the product, and they do that through the PlayStation Network so they can monitor you, see if you're not using the speech of hate, or see if you're, using bad words, or enacting rules and legislation on you that you don't want, but they will definitely give it to you. The PlayStation Network is just yet another tool they use to control the consumer, right? And they really wanted to do this, right, in light of the whole Stellar Blade situation. Or, well, yeah, it was the Stellar. No, I think it was the Cyberpunk situation, where a lot of people were refunding the game, and they're like, oh, well, if you have this, now all of a sudden you can't do that. So I think that was the reason why. But whatever the reason it may be, right? There, of the 190 countries on the planet, 170 something of them that I talked about still cannot play Helldivers. Which, again, they claim to be an inclusive company, right? But for some reason, the majority of the world can't play the game, can't play Helldivers. which is very weird, very weird. Again, from an inclusive company, right? An inclusive American company that can definitely sell around the world and definitely has sold products around the world. Now they're gating countries away from it. But anyway, my whole synopsis of this is, well, the gamer won, and we need to keep winning. Again, it's odd to, cobble together a movement because, I hate the idea of the community because it's like we're just this group of people who are supposed to have the same wants and the same needs and the same obligations to each other. It's like, no, the only thing we have in common is that we play games and that's it. But I think there should be this base level of camaraderie when it comes to going against a company that doesn't have our best interests at heart. They want to see what they can get away with and see what they can do. And the minute we push back, like, the line is drawn. And I think that's a good thing. Like, we need the line has been drawn for Sony to understand. And if they try pushing it again, well, we push back. And that's all I gotta say about that. Peace.